Welcome back. Today it's the turn of the new Mizuno driver, the STZ and the STZX230, excuse me. You'll see this year we've got a little bit more blue, Mizuno blue on the bottom compared to last year, if you're familiar with the products. I used the driver last year, so I've got a really vested interest in how this one is going to perform. The results are really exciting, I'll show you later. They've struggled a little bit over the years, Mizuno, to catch up the big boys in the wood market, whereas of course in the irons they're arguably the best anyway. So let's see if this product here is the one which closes the gap and might make you think seriously about playing Mizuno. I'll hit a few shots and then we'll come back to the results and I'll show you what happened and what I think the pros and cons of a Mizuno driver are. Wow, that's a lot of fun. That's the sound of the Mizuno driver. The feel of it is great. It's very traditionally Mizuno, and by that I mean it looks traditional. It's a normal shape, no overt bells and whistles going on, but there's a heck of a lot going on in the club to make it perform as well, or arguably better, than some of the bigger name brands in the driver market out there. So let's have a look at the results. I've been hitting both of the models from this year alongside my model from last year, and the results are quite amazing. So here's the big reveal. Of all the drivers I've tested this year, and that's all the major brands, this one had the biggest difference between last year's model and this year's model, by some margin as well. It's very exciting. So my driver from last year, the STZ220, I was very happy with it. As you probably know, if you know my golf swing now, I give up a little bit of distance and increase the backspin because I play a cut shot. That's always going to make the shot more forgiving, but it is going to add backspin and it will affect my carry. Now, of the shots I hit today, I averaged 241 in carry. Generally speaking, it's round about 245 in the studio, so maybe not my best hits, and I do tend to hit it a bit out of the bottom of the club as a standard shot. Then this year's model, wow, will you look at this? So the STZ230, the ball speed pickup was 4 miles an hour, 4.5 miles an hour for me, which is amazing. The ball launched higher, despite the fact it had the same loft on it, which I'm quite a big fan of that. And the backspin is down by 300, just over 300 revs, and that's just what I've been looking for, to be able to play a cut shot but not have the spin rev up over 3,000. So consequently, this uplift in carry was 15 yards carry through the air. Now that's a significant difference on the golf course, so it's very, very exciting. Now the STZ model has got the weight more neutrally placed. It is their lower spinning headed model, not designated as specifically low spin, but of the two it's the lower spinning. And then when I hit the STX, it probably isn't made for me because it generally has a slight draw bias and it does spin a little higher, which actually makes it more workable if you are going to play a mixture of lots of draws and fades. But I predominantly play fade and just have to draw occasionally, and you can see this is what's come out. The ball speed is identical and a big uplift on mine. The spin rate is round about 400 revs higher. So even though the ball speed was the same, we've actually lost 8 yards in carry. And I really did struggle. I had to work a little bit harder here to hit my fade, and I overdid a couple, which is why I wouldn't trust it for my game on the golf course, because there were too many wides in there. Whereas the STZ230 was actually more consistent than my own club, even though it was going further. I had a really tight dispersion and was able to hit the same shot time after time. So very exciting from Mizuno. I mean, if you've never hit a Mizuno driver and you like the look of traditional clubs behind the ball with a traditional sound, really solid feel, I really suggest you come and give it a go against the other big name brands, because this year, more than any other year, it is competing. That ball speed of 152 is about exactly the same as I got off the Callaway Paradigm and the Stealth 2. The ping was fractionally behind it, as it normally is, but it did perform well as well. And it's not all about ball speed. You've got to go on how many fairways you can hit, what it feels like, and does it suit your game. So very, very interesting, and I hope you'll consider the Mizuno in your selection for the coming year. Well, that's the Mizuno, super enjoyable to hit, and if it can pass the test of the first at Valderrama, then it's accurate enough for me. So come and give it a go in the studio. I've been super impressed with it, and I hope you'll enjoy it too. See you soon.